Welcome and thank you for watching this week's episode from Close Encounters of the Nerd Kind. Today we're going to be reviewing the latest episode from Falcon and Winter Soldier, Episode 5, Truth. And as always, if you haven't already, please like, subscribe and ring the bell to stay nerdified.
So obviously we've more or less just seen the episode. I wanted to know what your favourite scene in it was.
I wouldn't say my favourite scene, but the most interesting scene for me was, the most interesting scene for me was Satellite Sharon.
Satellite Sharon?
Yeah. I didn't know what they're doing with her.
Yeah, in terms it's the most intriguing scene.
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah, absolutely. It's she's helping Sam and Bucky, and then now she seems to be helping Carly in the Flag Smashers. And again, she mentioned that she it's the second time now that she's hired Batroc. Yeah,
so you presume from the first episode that
she was trying to get that captain out of the plane. Obviously, I think one of the best scenes was the fight scene. It's the one we've all been waiting for so long.
Been building since basically episode 2, hasn't it?
Yeah, we all wanted John Walker to get a kick in at some point.
Well, I mean, to be honest, he held his own really well. Yeah. I mean, they really struggled for a time.
Well, he is a war hero, isn't he?
But I still didn't expect that. You know, I mean, he really made short shrift of Bucky, and
it was brilliant.
Getting the arm malfunctioning, dude. Get a new one.
Come on.
Get a new one. I thought the Wakandans are supposed to be good at technology.
Yeah. And then obviously you saw the bit where he ripped his wings off.
Yeah, that was quite epic. I thought he was choking him at first.
You can see the anger in his face, and he's
he nearly tried the old. He tried that shield decapitation move a few times, didn't he? He's like, Jesus, mate.
If he weren't stopped, what was going to happen?
Well, I think that was probably what you were being hinted at. Is that he has completely lost it now.
Yeah,
and I think that was really good. Following on from your point, and I'll get to my favourite scene in a second. But following on from your point, this episode was basically just saying he's lost it now.
Yeah.
He has lost it.
Yeah, this is...
But again, what they do really well is acutely remind us of how he's got to this point. I like the
flashback.
Wasn't the court-martial, but the court scene.
Yes.
It did also subtly point out the hypocrisy, the fact that, he's done stuff like this in Afghanistan. The fact that it's in public now and people have seen it on camera and he's Captain America, now it's a problem.
Yeah.
So they're very good at portraying both sides of the argument in this programme, to be honest.
Yeah, that court scene was very good. And you said,
scene.
I've done everything you've trained me to do.
Yeah. You literally made me this. I think, again, it just shows not everyone is Steve Rogers.
Yes, yeah. And it also shows what Lamar, the effect Lamar had on
He totally balanced it, didn't he?
Yeah.
So my favourite scene was, without doubt for me, everything you mentioned was fantastic. The whole episode I thought was pretty much top notch. But the scenes with Isaiah Bradley were absolutely fantastic, tying into the name of the episode, Truth. For those that don't know, Isaiah Bradley first appeared in a comic book series called Truth, Red, White and Black by Marvel. And I thought all of those scenes were really fantastic, and it showed the pressure of the Shield, not only for someone like John Walker, a war hero and a celebrated veteran, but what about for a black man, especially for Isaiah, in those times as a black man, let alone Sam now. And we now understand. I think a lot of us thought after the end of the first episode, what are you doing, dude? Don't give the Shield away. That scene really put a lot of context into Sam's decision and why he felt the pressure maybe more acutely than Bucky would have done if he'd have been past the Shield.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, the Isaiah Bradley, they touched on the Red Tails and Squadron 332.
And I hope we see a What If or a Marvel short later on at some point on Disney awesome. Plus, seeing a bit more of Isaiah Bradley, or of course his grandson, is it?
Yeah, Eli Bradley. Who later becomes the Patriot.
Later becomes Patriot in the Young Avengers. So
again, that's all tying up to the Young Avengers. Yeah. Bust his mates out. And that's exactly the same scenario as Captain America.
Yeah.
So and
it was even more, it was quite tragic that then it was like, well, they died anyway because the super soldier serum killed them, and almost like he's gone through that. He's saved his friends. He's served his country. This serum has killed his other friends, but left him alive. Yeah. And then he gets back to the States and he gets experimented on and thrown in jail. And it was a really heartbreaking story.
Completely opposite to Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
Where he did exactly the same, went and saved Bucky.
Yeah.
Ordered not to. And then he come back and he was a hero.
Yeah. The irony of that is that he was, until that point, he was seen as a bit of a joke.
Yes, yeah. yeah,
he was like the mascot.
Yeah,
mascot for World War II, wasn't
he? Punching Hitler on the nose.
The episode generally, I thought it started off action-packed.
It had to, didn't it?
Yeah,
with what happens.
They couldn't leave last episode hanging like that, so we had to see some sort of confrontation, and as you said, it was fantastic. What I would say is it felt a bit like, in the old sort of Game of Thrones style, it felt like the aftermath of a finale.
Yeah. It was like another transition episode.
Yeah, exactly. There was a lot of emotional setup.
To something else. And we've only got one episode left.
But generally I thought the episode had a lot of good things. We've already touched on them a little bit in your favourite scene, but I thought every scene with John Walker was fantastic.
Great actor.
I think he's portrayed the character so. I think you can see that by how many people hate him. But that's just testament to how great of an actor he's done. And I now sort of picture John Walker as having been in the MCU for years. So I thought every scene with him was fantastic.
Yeah, no, he's such a strong character when he's on screen.
Yeah,
he's so strong.
Do you think they'll kill him off, or keep him as a villain, or give him an anti-hero twist?
I'm hoping an anti-hero twist. I really seem to think that's going in that direction. Well, he's a good guy, but he's just going around it the wrong way. He's a war hero, and it's again going back to Erskine. He's had that super
soldier, good man.
Exactly.
Not necessarily the same thing.
An amazing soldier. He's still a soldier.
We might as well take that opportunity to, I guess, briefly mention Julia Louis-Dreyfus's cameo.
Great entrance. These boots aren't made for walking.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah.
Great entrance, great scene, and it was just like, who's this character?
Yeah, exactly. And we get a name, or we get about 20 names. But fundamentally, all you need to know at this point is that she was a love interest of Nick Fury and heavily influential in S.H.I.E.L.D. and later Hydra.
Madam Hydra.
What do you think about that? What do you think they're going with that?
Well, we all know that Nick Fury's still up in space. The last time we saw him was with the Skrulls on some sort of mission within S.W.O.R.D, we believe. And again, within WandaVision and Monica, as you touched on, we already know that S.W.O.R.D exists, and it's a big enterprise at the moment.
They had a lot of resources, didn't they?
Yes, yeah. So with her background, she's potentially going to slot straight in.
So do you think she's going to be allied with Nick Fury, or do you think they might be? Because one thing that I'll say that is a bit stupid, is a bit juvenile, but the purple streak in her hair made her look a bit evil. I think if they're going to go with it, she's going to be more the evil than an ally of maybe Nick Fury, for example.
Yes, again, she might be undercover at the moment. Like in the comics, she was undercover with S.H.I.E.L.D. first of all, so let's say S.W.O.R.D. She could still be Hydra. We've seen touches of Hydra throughout a couple of these episodes.
Oh yeah,
especially
absolutely.
that senator.
Yeah, and also the advert Hydra soak.
Yes,
on WandaVision.
Yes, exactly right. So we know they exist. Yeah.
I think, like you just said, that S.W.O.R.D is the way to do this. S.W.O.R.D is being represented as some reconstituted S.H.I.E.L.D., but seems to be a bit more government controlled. And
I also believe that the Madam Hydra character, she's going to be in Black Widow. That's what has been announced, yeah. So she was actually supposed to make her debut within Black Widow, but obviously that's been pushed back.
Okay.
So now this is her first MCU debut,
we'll see,
when it was actually supposed to be in Black Widow.
What else did you like from this episode?
Well, as we spoke about on the last episode, finding Zemo. Where was he? Where did he escape to?
They didn't call the episode that.
No, unfortunately.
They didn't get your tweet, but unfortunately.
It's their loss.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Alright, Dory. Yeah, so what we saw? We saw 2 minutes of him within this episode.
Not much.
He obviously escaped the door Milage. He escaped the door of Milage.
Yeah.
The classic under the bath escape route.
Yeah, as you always do, in every good hotel room. There's easy access to an escape tunnel in the bathroom, of course.
Yeah, and then we finally saw him, and he was at the Sokovia Memorial. Yeah. So
I like that touch.
I thought it was really good. And again, it just shows that is he a bad guy?
No,
he did bad things, but he had this.
That scene in particular completely, without any shadow of a doubt, humanised him.
Yeah.
Because it was clear he'd resigned himself to either A, being killed by Bucky, or being recaptured and imprisoned.
Yes.
I think it is a bit of a missed opportunity, because I did sort of like this anti-hero, is he bad, is he good, angle they were going down, and that scene felt, as well as it was done, it felt very much like closure on his story.
Yeah, it was.
And I sort of get the feeling we won't see him again now.
That he was so good for the first for the first 4 episodes when we saw him.
Absolutely, yeah.
But then it was kind of like, yeah, okay, he had to go at some point.
I tell you,
we know he had to be caught.
Shall I tell you what it felt like? It felt like, right, we need to wrap up a story.
Because we've only got 1 episode.
Yeah,
we've already got too much to explain.
Exactly, that's what it felt like. So that's the only thing I would say on that. I would have expected to see his send-off, if that's what it was, from the MCU, to be a bit more than that. But like you said, the scene itself was unbelievable.
Yeah. It was really good between Bucky and Zemo. It was good how they discussed, you know, how Zemo said, "Oh, I've crossed my name out of your ledger. I hope that's okay. I think we're..."
Maybe not mutual respect, but there's a tolerance there now.
Yeah. They both understand each other's own direction, what they wanted to go in.
Yeah, I think...
or what made them go in that direction.
Yeah.
You know.
But it seemed to be true closure for Sam. For Sam.
For Sam?
And it also seemed to be true closure for Bucky.
Yeah.
Which brings me on to my final sort of bit I really liked about the episode was Sam and Bucky. They're friends now. They can't say it.
Yeah, we're not a team. We're co-workers.
Yeah, they're co-workers. They're not friends, but they clearly... What I enjoyed was Sam taking up the mentor/friend role Bucky seems to have really missed from Steve.
That's right. You're giving Winter Soldier closure. You need to give Bucky closure.
Exactly.
And the touch there, when Bucky explained to Sam, he actually said that when Steve told me he was going to give you the shield, and we didn't realise that it was going to hold so much weight on you, being a black man.
Yeah.
But that also opens up that Steve, obviously, before he went back in time, that he told Bucky that he was going to stay there. So that proves that Steve obviously told him before we went back in time, which I found quite interesting.
Yeah, because that was sort of hinted at. I mean, in the film sort of things, Bucky didn't seem surprised, did he? Well, when he was on the seat, I think Bucky sort of gave... If I'm trying to think back, I'm sure Bucky gave Sam a little nod to go and get the shield, mate. Yeah, maybe that's a real... I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, so obviously then when Sam's now... What it looks like he's decided he's going to be Captain America.
Oh, well, I mean, you don't practice with that shit. Well, I mean, if you had that shield at home, you'd be doing that all day long. Yeah. But
his nephews were, so you'd have to, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was brilliant. Yeah, and you could see the progression. I don't know how long that scene was.
That scene took,
Yeah, but you saw him getting very handy with the shield.
They seemed to be playing on the 80s buddy cop thing. We had a couple of good old musical montages. We're gonna need a montage! It was absolutely brilliant, that scene where he's not only assuming that mantle of Captain America and him practicing with the shield and having the big conversations with Bucky and all that sort of stuff. Seeing him progress from the first episode where the shield took a visible toll on him. So yeah, fantastic.
And now he's come to grips with it that he can hold the shield, he can carry the shield. Yeah. He is worth it.
Yeah.
And he should do.
L'Oreal. Yeah, he's worth... Well, it's not necessarily that he's... can anyone be worthy of that mantle after Steve? He's now unfazed by taking up the mantle. I guess after seeing what John Walker did with it, you'd think...
Yeah,
can't do much worse, can I?
Yeah, you can see how much that shield means to him, because as soon as they got it back off John Walker, you see him, he was frantically scrubbing all that blood off it. Like it was like, blood. It's not supposed to be...
Was that Bucky doing that?
No, that was Sam.
Was it Sam?
Yeah, after they just got it back straight after, and Bucky chucked it down to him.
Yeah, so I guess that's the elephant in the room now. And again, I only had a couple of... I won't even say bad points, just things that, I think could have been done better. Like I said, the Zemo exit. The only other thing I felt the whole sort of teasing of what's in that Wakandan box was just a bit drawn out, to be honest. Yeah, they could have either introduced that box 2 minutes before the end of the episode, or they, could have had him at least open it and see it.
Just teasing us, waiting for the last episode.
And we all know what's going to be in there. It's going to be the Captain America suit.
Yes.
For him.
Yeah, the Falcon Captain America suit.
We'll get into what we think is going to happen in the final episode and maybe in the MCU going forward very soon. But one final point I wanted to return back to, the first point you made on the on this episode is Sharon. What? Who is she? What's going on?
I honestly don't know.
I mean,
throughout the whole series, we've seen her be do this, do that, do this, and
very duplicitous character.
Yeah, when we've speculated, is she the power broker? Is she CIA? Is she a Skrull? And it's just like, and it looks like Marvel's chucking all these back. Yeah, exactly. So
one thing I want to obviously get your thoughts on is that it seemed like she had hired Batroc. That was definitely him on the phone. It was definitely a French person on the phone.
It was. And
so I'm going to
she already said that she broke him out of an Algerian jail. She was going to double the payment of what she paid him last time.
Yeah.
Which we presume is from the first scene. One. Yeah, from trying to kidnap the captain.
Yeah. So the real question about that is what, basically, if she has hired Batroc to help Carly, does that rule her out of being the power broker? What do you think? Do you now still think she's the power broker?
It can't be. There's one scenario, because obviously the power broker knows that Nagel's dead, etc., etc. Yeah. So now, is she trying to befriend Carly to maybe get a blood sample, which we've seen from Isaiah Bradley already? Yeah.
Well, I think she is I think that she's still representing the power broker, because I'll get onto that in just a second. I think she is representing the power broker. And I think that Batroc's orders are to assist Carly in killing the Falcon and the Winter Soldier because they're getting too close to the truth.
Yeah.
And then to capture Carly.
Yes.
Or, like you said, to kill her and get a blood sample. So I'm going to get into my theory and speculation now. On the back of what we were just talking about, Sharon, I'm going to start with her. I think in the final episode, it could be revealed that she is working for SWORD.
Okay, yeah.
And that SWORD, as an entity, is behind the power broker persona. I think this is all built into a Dark Avengers or a Thunderbolts, either live action film, series, whatever. Okay, so my theory is that the high ranking members of SWORD are, obviously we've seen Hayward, Sharon Carter's going to be involved in there, and I also think Thunderbolt Ross.
Yes, he's definitely going to come back.
I think he's going to be the one that's behind SWORD, because he never necessarily disagreed with S.H.I.E.L.D. as a concept, just the fact they weren't regulated by the government necessarily.
And we know he is first for that power, that super serum. We know that. Yeah. So we know this is.
And we know from the comics that, of course, he is the Red Hulk.
So yeah, I think your speculation is nearly spot on.
Well, I'm hoping so, because I think that would be a great twist.
Again, and if it is right, I really would like to see Baron Zemo back, and that would be part of it.
And I would like to see him part of it, because that would be a perfect fit as well, as a leader of the group, basically. Yeah. And if it's a live action film, maybe they could get Daniel Brawl back interested in that. And just the second facet of that I had. So, Sharon going after Falcon, are they maybe thinking we have to wipe out the old Avengers before the public will accept this new reformatted
there's
team?
No one left, and these are the only superhero type.
These guys, you might remember some of them that have been a bit bad, but no, they're honestly they're good, and they're going to help us now because the rest are gone. That might be something they do. And finally, I would think it amazing if the high-ranking members of SWORD, the whole institute was set up as a Skrull cover, and that Hayward, Carter, and Ross are all Skrulls. And I think it'd be amazing if we saw Ross get replaced by a Skrull in Black Widow, because we know he's in it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that is a definite theory that could happen.
I would love
to see that. And we've already seen that Taskmaster is in Black Widow.
And that would tie into a Thunderbolts film or team as well.
Yeah, and we know the Skrulls, and we've already been told that they are already in the MCU. Someone is.
There's a secret invasion event coming up.
Yeah, so is that what it's all tying up to?
Maybe. Could be.
I think that, again, on the back of what you're saying, is Sharon trying to get rid of the old Avengers, so this is all that's left. Is this going to be the opportunity to see all these young Avengers come up? They're coming. We're seeing them already. Yeah. So are they going to be the ones that are going to try and battle these?
I'll tell you what, let's take it even further. What happens if we've got a government team called the Thunderbolts and a young Avengers team of vigilantes who think, nah, they're not doing superhero the right way? Yeah. I mean, this could be the next 10 years of the MCU.
Yes.
Yeah. Or it could be complete nonsense.
Yeah.
Who knows? Do you think it's just a suit, or do you think it's suit and wings?
Suit and wings.
Yeah. So my last theory was it's not just the suit, it's got vibranium wings.
Yeah.
included that's nanotech or something like that, so it's not, so that's why it fits in the box.
That's right.
Going to the final battle, Joaquin turns up. I've fixed your suit, man. Either suit up and help him out in the final,
we'll see that in the final.
Shall I tell you what I think we'll see? We might not see that. If we don't see that, we'll see harkening back to Iron Man 1, and we'll see Joaquin look at it and go, next time. Just like Rhodey did in Iron Man 1 when you saw the War Machine suit.
Yeah. I think they've already touched on Iron Man 1 slightly right in the mid-credit scene. You saw
that looked exactly like Iron Man 1.
As soon as I heard the noise,
that's
an Iron Man?
Yeah.
And he's there and he's making his own shield.
And how fitting would that be if they are trying to bring in, we're replacing the Avengers.
So that's the end of our reaction and speculation video for Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 5. And again, please leave comments below if you agree with our speculations or if you have your own. And if you like this video, please like, subscribe and ring the bell to stay nerdified.